Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity, where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it. Whoa, dude. 2 wins this weekend. Holy cow. Toronto I wasn't surprised about, although they did try to kind of give it away. And oh, man, that New York game, that was something else. We did, Prudence and I made it to the game. Jonathan Quick was in goal, so we were very excited about that. She won her USA Olympic Jonathan Quick hockey jersey and the 2012 Stanley Cup champion LA Kings hat. With a year he won the Conn Smythe Trophy. Should have won the Vezina. We won't go there. That was very exciting. A great shot by Forsberg. I've mentioned before, I saw him doing that in training camp. Just wicked fast. Did not know, especially from that close in. Whew, good luck. He was right on point, upper part of the net. Quick's a great goaltender, but I think that would have gotten past anybody. So great goal, empty net goal, and then that stupid, oh my gosh, Noonan almost had the shutout, and then holy cow, what a mess. Anyway, still came out with a win. That's great. 2 wins promoted the Nashville Predators from being one of the teams in the bottom to, up to 6th place. We will cover that a little bit more. Hey, this is the first part of the road trip. The Preds are going on a 7-game road trip. The first 3, oddly enough and fortunately enough, all Central Division matchups, which, if I remember correctly, is the Preds' worst division. If I'm remembering this correctly, let's see, against the 4-6-2, 3-6-0 against the Metropolitan, 4-3-1, winning record against the Atlantic, 4-1-1 against the Pacific. So winning records against the Atlantic and the Pacific, losing records against the Metropolitan and the Central. The Central is the division that they will play the most games in. 4-6-2, so it's close to a winning record. Anyway, so there you go. So the Preds are playing Minnesota, St. Louis, and Utah to start off this road trip. I'm going to cover all 3 of those because it's going over Christmas. I wanted to make sure that I could, the Utah game I thought I would be back in time for, wasn't quite sure. I am doing this on Monday the 22nd. So the game with Minnesota is tomorrow, so things may change between now and then. Makes something I'm saying slightly different. But hey, that's okay. It's mostly right, especially when we come to per game statistics. They wouldn't change too much from day to day. So, I think we're good doing it this way. It's just going to be long. It's going to be long for me. That's why I'm talking really fast. Hey, got my Quantum Energy Squares in this morning. Got my caffeine, got my protein. QuantumSquares.com. Use the promo code PredsPro, and you'll get 25% off. No junk. No junk in those. 10 grams of protein, 100 milligrams of caffeine. And, get to talk this quickly like the FedEx guy on that one commercial years ago. Anyway, so going to try to get through this quick, cut out a couple of things, try not to be too extemporaneous. But, hey, I've already failed in that, haven't I? So, with that, I know this is going to be long. I know it's early in the show, but let me stop for a second, put in a break here, and then we can get going. Hey, that was a very refreshing break. I know it was for me. Okay, so getting started. The first game on this 7-game road trip is the Minnesota Wild. We will play them Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central. Minnesota is 3rd in the Central Division with 47 points. They didn't note this, but they got in a discussion in a store the other day where somebody was trying to convince me that the Central Division was 10 points between top and bottom, excluding Colorado. And I'm like, well, I just gave it up because Minnesota has 10 points on the 4th place team in the Central. So you couldn't be more wrong. But hey, Minnesota is the 3rd team in the league. The top 3 teams in the NHL right now are Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. All Central Division Western Conference teams. Can we give it up for the Western Conference? Can we? Well, let's see. What did I see? At least it was Crosby on the front page of NHL.com. But hey, I digress. Minnesota, they are third in the league. They got 49 points. They are 2 points ahead of Carolina, who has 2 games in hand. So whether they're third or fourth, it's kind of questionable. But the Central team, top 3 in the Central, are in the top 4 in the league. I think that's worth talking about. That's what I think. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a commentator in NHL.com. Hey, and so much for me not rambling on. All right, so they got 49 points, and my notes say 47. All right, the production staff going a little nuts here this morning. We're trying to get this wrapped up so that we can. Gee whiz! Come on, let's all play together here. Okay, third in the Central Division, 49 points. I'm gonna have to go check all my stuff now. 22, 10, and 5 overall at home. At home, not as good as the road New York Rangers. Let's see, they're now 13, 6, and 1. Oh, maybe they are. 13, 4, and 4. The Minnesota Wild is 13, 4, and 4. Oh, that's right. At home, Colorado is 14, 0, and 2. But Minnesota is 13, 4, and 4 at home. They got 6 points on Dallas, have played the same number of games, or behind Dallas by 6 points. They're ahead of Utah by 10, and they played 1 less game than Utah. So they're solidly in the third position in the Central right now. For them, this is the third of 3 at home. They're 1-1 on this homestand. They beat Edmonton 5-2 and lost to Colorado 1-5. They were 4-0-0 on their last homestand. After this, 7 on the road, which include consecutive games against the LA Kings. Consecutive, but not back-to-back. There is a day between. But hey, you're out in LA. Why not? They play Anaheim on Friday. Oh, the back-to-back is Anaheim, LA, so proving the Kings fan that think that Anaheim is always on the back end of a back-to-back when they come to LA. Not this time. Minnesota plays Anaheim on Friday, then LA on Saturday, and then sticks around in LA for Monday. They can go surfing on Sunday. You can surf. January's not that cold out there, especially Minnesotans. Man, if you're used to playing in Minnesota, they would probably go out in their swimming trunks and swim in the ocean, for goodness sake. Anyway, 7 on the road is next for them. This is the second game of 4 versus Nashville. It will be the last one in Minnesota. They are 1-0 against Nashville, having beaten them 3-2 in overtime back on November 4th. The games in Nashville will be February 4th and April 11th. Last year, the home team did win all 3, only 3 last year, 4 this year. So Minnesota was 2-1 against Nashville last year. Notable personnel changes. They did have a number of people who were out. They had 7. Now they're down to 2. Number 24 defenseman Zach Bogosian. He was supposed to be back on the 21st. Now the 27th. He was moved to injured reserve on the 20th. And number 48 defenseman Damon Hunt. Not supposed to be back till the 27th. Had been the 23rd. So both those guys sliding out. Not sliding out and activated on the 20th, number 18 center Vinny Hinostroza. Supposed to be back on the 20th, supposed to be back on the 23rd, but activated on the 20th. Number 5 defenseman Jake Middleton. Also activated. Number 25 defenseman Jonas Broden. Supposed to be back on the 20th, so that's on schedule. And then also a little ahead of schedule, number 36, right wing Mats Zuccarello is supposed to be back on the 21st, activated on the 20th. Also returning to the lineup on the 20th, but not activated. So, maybe, I don't know. He was out day to day. Number 90, left wing Marcus Johansson, supposed to be back on the 20th, was back on the 20th. So they had 5 players come back. Started wondering, a little Minnesota's not likely to, they will probably make some roster changes, probably not in December or January. Just kind of reminded me, seeing all these injuries, that sometime, if you see teams like late January, early February, there'll be players that are listed as out. They're not injured. They're just not playing them because they're trying to trade them. Or leaving them off the roster so that they're easily tradable. It just reminded me of that. I mean, not, a little early for that kind of thing, but just kind of reminded me. The other roster move they made was on the 21st. They recalled number 39 center Ben Jones from the Iowa Wild. Yeah, they had all these players come off. The only people left are defensemen, but they called up this center from the Iowa Wild. So that is the Minnesota Wild. The St. Louis Blues are the team that we will play on Saturday, also at 7 o'clock. They are fifth in the Central Division with 36 points. They are 14, 15, and 8 at home, 7, 8, and 5. They are 3 points behind Utah, having played one less game. And behind them is Nashville. Nashville is 2 points behind them, but St. Louis has played 2 more games. This is the first of 2 at home for them. The last homestand, they were 2-1-1. And the other team they're playing is Buffalo. Why does this seem so strange? And then next up for them will be a road game. Now this is that Buffalo part was totally wrong. Between now and Nashville, they will play Monday night. That's today. They play Tampa Bay. They play at the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. So that is one game that will happen between now and the Preds, but that is a road game for them, so it will not change the home statistics for them. In the series, this is the third of 4 between these two teams, and it's the last one in St. Louis. St. Louis is 0-2 in this matchup, having lost 2-7 and 2-5. Next up, February 2nd in Nashville. Last year, St. Louis did sweep the series, and they have 4 games. They had 3 games in March, so it was just kind of weird. We have 3 games with St. Louis in December this year, 3 games in March last year with them. Kind of weird. For St. Louis, they do have 5 players that are listed as injured or out or not playing. Here we go. Number 77, center Nick Bjugstad. Yeah, I feel like, we just played St. Louis. I ought to be better at this. He's now not expected back until the 27th. He was expected back on the 17th and then the 20th and now the 27th. Number 25, right wing Jordan Curo. He had been week to week at least. Now he's day to day. Not expected back now until January 3rd. Originally it was the 10th of December, then the 27th of December, and now the 3rd of January. Number 21, right wing Jimmy Snuggerud. Expected back January 13th. Number 81, left wing Dylan Holloway. Another one of those that's kind of been moved around a little bit. He's week to week, was day to day. Now he's not expected back. We originally expected back December 14th. Now not expected back till January 27th. And then finally, number 26, left wing Nathan Walker. Month to month, not expected back till the end of February. No additional transactions. Finally, in the first 3 of this road series, all 3 of these Central Division teams are the Utah Mammoth. That game will be at 8 o'clock next Monday. Utah is 4th in the Central Division with 39 points, 18, 17, and 3 at home, 9, 6, and 1. So that's a good home record. That's a decent home record. They are 10 points behind Minnesota in 4th. They played one more game. As far as St. Louis, who's in 5th, they are 3 points ahead of St. Louis, and they played one more game than St. Louis. This is a one-game homestand for them. They were 1-1 in their last homestand. The second game of 4 in the series. This series is alternating away and home. Utah is 1-0 in this series, having won 3-2 in overtime back in October. We will play January 24th in Nashville and then wrap the series up April 9th in Utah. Last year, Nashville was 2-1 against Utah. So Utah would have been 1-2. Since we're talking about Utah, I should have phrased it that way. I'm okay. Let's just go with that. No, they had to be 2-1. This had to be 2-1. I'm not going to look this up. Anyway, last year they played 3 games. This year they played 4. Almost evenly split last year. We'll just leave it at that. Let me keep moving on here. Fortunately for Utah, or fortunately they only have one out. Unfortunately for them, it is number 92 center Logan Cooley out till February 4th. They did on the 19th activate Alexander Kerfoot, number 31 center, who had been day-to-day, expected back on the 21st, so came back a little bit earlier. For your Nashville Predators, 6th in the Central, 6th with 34 points, 15-16-4. On the road, 5-7-2. 2 points behind St. Louis, but played 2 less games, and 1 point ahead of Winnipeg, same number of games played. These are the first 3 of a 7-game road trip, 1-1 on the last road trip. After the 7 games, back come sometime in January, 4 at home. Personnel issues, Justin Barron, now not expected back until the 29th. Had been the 15th, the 21st. Number 20 defenseman Justin Barron. Number 89 center Ozzy Weisblatt, still February 26th. And the newest face on the injury update list is number 81 right wing Jonathan Marchessault. Day-to-day, had been expected back on the 20th. Now it's the 23rd, so maybe he'll be back for the next game. Maybe he won't. I guess we'll see when the day comes. Wow, yeah. Maybe I need a little bit more coffee. Get some coffee in here. We need some coffee. Coffee's good. All right, so all of that player or teams update takes us to statistics. Yowza. All right, so we are back on the road. And so all of the things that we just did over the weekend, not going to affect those stats still. So what we got? We got 14 road games. We got the 7-game road trip. So that'll put us over 20. Very excited to finally be over 20 on the road. We are at 21 at home. Once we get to 20 on the road, we can, I don't know, what are we going to do? Not going to do anything different. We're still going to talk about the numbers. So let's get to the numbers on the road, starting off with the first goal of the game. When the Preds get the first goal of the game on the road, happened 4 times. 3-0-1. Have not lost in regulation when they get the first goal. Unfortunately, when they don't, 2-7-1. 2-7-1. So let's break this down a little bit more because this has happened in the first and second period. In the first period, when the Preds get it, they're 2-0-0. So undefeated champion of winning when they get the first goal in the second period, which did happen last night. Wait a minute. This is first period. Sorry, first period. Too much caffeine. First period, 2-0-0 when the Preds get the first goal in the first period. When they get the first goal in the second period, 1-0-1. And when the opponents get the first goal in the first period, 2-6-1, so about 3-1 advantage there. And the one time it's happened in the second period was a loss. So 2-6-1 in the first period, 0-1-0 when they don't get it. So not very good. 3-1, maybe 3.5-1, 3.25, depending on how you count the overtime loss. 3-1 when they don't get it, 3-0 when they do. So yeah, that most of these zeros, especially in the overall stats, are going to go away eventually. I hate to say that, especially with 3 road games coming up. But hey, that's just the way it works. So that's first goal. Winning by period on the road. The Preds, not very good in the first period. What have they got? 3 goals? I think they've got 3 goals so far in the first period. So guess what? They're 1-9-4 in the first period. When they do get the first goal, they are 1-0-3 in the first period. When they get the first goal, and it's in that period, 1-0-1, so not a lot of data points there. When they don't get the first goal, they're 0-9-1 in the first period. So, they just haven't scored in the first period very much. So it's first period is horrible, 1-9-4. So 7 games on the road, that gives them a good opportunity to learn how to score in the first period. Wouldn't that be nice? Sets you up a little bit better here. The second period, they are fairly evenly split, 4-5-5. Boy, 4-5-5 in the second period. When they get the first goal, they are 3-1-0 in the first period. When they don't get the first goal that's second period. When they don't get the first period, 1-4-5. So when they don't get the first goal, they haven't won the first period, and they've only won the second period once. It does look better in the third period. Let's go to the third period. Third period on the road, the Preds have a winning record, 6-5-3. When they got the first goal, happened 4 times, 2-1-1. So that's good. When they don't get the first goal, at least they're better in the third period. But hey, I think they're tops, if I remember right, tops in the league in scoring in the third period for road teams. So they're 4-4-2 when they don't get the first goal, and they're 4-4-2 in the third period when they don't get the first goal. So that's a good record. But how does that correlate to wins and losses? Because that's what I care about. Win the first period, lose the first period, don't care. Does it matter? Well, let's see. Of course, this is a tough one since they've only scored 3 goals, I think, in the first period. I've said that enough times. I should really check. Let's make sure. 4. 4. I was wrong. It's 4 now. So it's even worse. 4 times. They've gotten 4 goals in the first period. Okay, so they've won the first period once. They did win that game. The 9 times that they have lost the first period, they won 2 of those. And then when they tie the first period, happened to 4 times, that's a coin flip, 2-2. The second period, the 4 times that they have won the second period, they're 3-1. 5 times they have lost the second period, 1-4, and similarly 1-4 when they tie it. So the best thing, so tying the second period or tying or losing the second period does not look very promising. Winning the second period does. The first period, until they start scoring more goals in the first period, it's hard for that stat to look any better. Third period, they've won the third period 6 times. They're 3-3. They've lost it 5 times, 0-5, and tied it 3 times, 2-1 in those games. Taking out the empty nets doesn't look as good. 7 times they have won the third period when take out the empty net goals, and they're only 2-5 in those games. 4 times they have lost the third period without considering the empty nets, 1-3 in those. And so then the 3 times that they've tied, still 3 times, even taking out empty nets, 3 times they've tied the third period, still 2-1. So taking out the empty nets doesn't look so promising. All right, so let's head into goal scoring. Goal scoring, winning goal. On the road, the Preds, primarily the winning goal is being scored in the second period. That's slightly different. 1 more time in the second, then the third. So 5 times in the second, 4 times in the third, 3 times in overtime, and twice in the first. So kind of Kind of a nice little spread there. For the Preds, since they've only won 5 games, 3 times they got the winning goal in the third period, once in the second, once in overtime. When they lose, most of the time it's the winning goal is scored in the second period 4 times, 44%. Again, we're only talking about 14 data points, so it's not huge, but still 4 times in the second period, and next up is 2 overtime and the first. As far as home team winning versus road team winning, we did just have 2 home wins over the weekend. So 19 times this season, the home team has won in the Preds games. 6 times the winning goal was scored in the second, 5 times in the third. I think both of the winning goals over the weekend were in the third period. So there you go. And as far as the road team goes, 16 times the road team has won, and predominantly the road team is scoring the winning goal in the third period, 44%. 7 times in the third period. Next up is 4 in the second, so 25%, then 3 in overtime, and 2 in the first. Looking at goal scoring, right? Don't skip past goal. The Preds are being outscored on the road in the first period, 4-18. 4-18. So they're being outscored by 14 goals in the first period. Does not set you up very well. So they're being outscored by 14 goals, and they played 14 road games. And even when they win, they're being outscored in the first period, 2-3. So when they lose, they're outscored 2-15 in the first period. Second period is a little better. Second period is better. They are being outscored by only 1 goal, 12-13. When they win the games, they're outscoring their opponents 7-3, and that's 5 wins. When they lose, they're being outscored 2-1, basically 5-10, 9 data points there. The third period is better. The Preds are outscoring their opponents 22-14 in the third period, outscoring them by 7 when they win, 11-4, and being outscored by 3, 11-14 when they lose. So the third period, definitely a better period for the Preds. When it comes to the scenarios of coming into the second period, winning, tied, and losing, only one of those scenarios hasn't happened yet, which is coming into the third period tied. The third period tied, the predominant situation is to come into the third period losing. Second up is coming into the second period losing. So the Preds have come into the second period losing 9 times, the third period 10. And then the next scenario that's happened the most is just 4 times, coming into the second period tied, coming into the third period winning. So predominantly the Preds are entering the second and third period losing. Not surprising given the second period. Again, because of the scoring in the first, and then the second period they're not making it up. But the third period, they've 5-7-2. Running through the scenarios, so they've only come into the second period winning once, and they were outscored that time 0-2. So they came into the second period winning. They went into the third period losing. Coming into the second period tied has happened 4 times. They've outscored their opponents 6-2, so that's good. And coming into the second period losing happened 9 times. So they come into the second period losing, and they've been outscored 6-9. In the third period, they have come into the third period winning 4 times and have outscored the opponent 6-5, but 3 of those are empty net goals. So without a pulled goaltender, they are being outscored 3-5. They have not come into the third period tied, so that's 0. And then when they come into the third period losing, which has happened 10 times, count them, 10 They've been outscored 11-13. The good news there is that they have only had one empty net and the opponents have had 5, so they're outscoring the opponents 10-8, not counting empty net goals in the third period. That, I think I got through that, and that takes us to matchups. Okay, so, the matchups. I know it's 3 teams, 3 opponents. I will try. I guess the clearer I can be, the better this will go. So good luck with that. Okay. We got 3 teams. The Preds are on the road. We are going to primarily be talking about their per game averages here. Okay. So the best team, actually, interestingly enough, on a per game basis in this scenario, our 3 opponents are all at home. The Preds are on the road, is Utah. Utah is scoring 3.25 goals a game at home. 3.25 goals a game at home with a league average of 3.05. The St. Louis Blues are in the bottom at 30th with 2.3, and Minnesota's right in the middle of the pack at 3.14. That's still above average, but the Utah is 8th in the league in scoring at home. Preds are 26th in the league in scoring on the road. League average 2.99 with Preds scoring 2.79. The first period, the standout is Minnesota, 0.95 goals in the first period, 0.87 is league average, and the Blues and the Mammoth are below that. They're 21st and 20th in the league, and then Preds are in the bottom. Preds are last, surprising, 4 goals scored. So 0.29 teams are scoring on average in the first period, 0.85 in the first period. Looking at the second period is very similar to how they are overall. The Utah is 10th in the league in scoring in the second period, 1.13, league average 1.05. Minnesota and St. Louis below that. And the Preds are 23rd in the league at 0.86, which is getting closer to league average, but still below league average. And so then we come to the third period, and the Preds, top team in the league in scoring on the road, 1.57, league average 1.08, so almost half a goal more, which is excellent. League average for home teams is 1.06, and both Minnesota and Utah are above that. St. Louis is below that. St. Louis 30th in the league in scoring at home. Their best period being the first period. Utah definitely surprising. Utah looks like the most dangerous team on the in these first 3 games, and I guess that's is that not surprising? Well, I guess 15, 16. So Utah has played 16 games and Minnesota's played 21. Granted, Utah is 9-6-1. So as far as goal scoring, Utah looks more dangerous, but that's okay. This is where we go. Goals against. They're 22nd in the league. I don't get this. Utah's kind of perplexing me here. So goals against, the teams that give up the most goals in this scenario is St. Louis and Nashville. Interesting, both of those teams low on the scale with goals for, high on the scales with goals against. The Preds are 2-0 against St. Louis. And 22nd and 24th in the league is Utah and Minnesota overall. League average for home team scoring is 2.98 and are being scored against 2.98. and both those teams are below that. St. Louis is above that. When we come to the first period, the Preds are tops in the league and being scored against on the road, 1.29. And then hard to score against are Minnesota and Utah, with St. Louis being 10th in the league. And then league average being 0.85 in the first period, which I think is, St. Louis is 0.95, so they're above average. So, yeah, Minnesota and Utah hard to score on in the first period. The second period, St. Louis becomes even more generous, 1.3 to a league average of 0.97. And Minnesota, hardest team in the league to score on at home. They are 32nd in the league with 0.57 goals against, when league average is 0.97. Just taking a quick look up here. Minnesota's given up 14 goals. 14 goals. They played 21 games at home. They've given up 14 goals. Is that right? I think I got those numbers right. Anyway, and then coming to the third period, Minnesota pops up. Man, pops up. They've given up 1.33 goals a game in the third period with a home team average 1.08. The Preds are sixth, which is not surprising, giving up. And then St. Louis and Utah, around about league average. League average 1.08. They're 1.5, 1.6. So league average for St. Louis and Utah in the third. Minnesota, surprisingly, the hardest team in the league to score on at home in the second period, and then one of the easier teams to score against in the third. Kind of shocking there. Maybe that's a lot of empty net goals. No, it wouldn't be empty net goals. I don't know. Don't know what's going on with them. Minnesota has played the most number of games at home. 21. The number's right there on the spreadsheet. 21 games. You haven't got to guess. Don't guess. St. Louis has played 20. Utah's played 16. Predators have only played 14 home games, which is next to last in the league. They played, only one other team has played the same number. Nobody's played less. If I guess it's Toronto. I think that's what I've seen before. So anyway, overall, surprising, Minnesota, the third period, Minnesota giving up that many goals. I'm trying to get through that quick. The teams that are very similar, St. Louis and Nashville, not good at scoring goals and high on the rank of giving up. And then, I guess similar Minnesota and Utah, kind of the opposite ways. All right. So that's goal scoring. Take a quick look at penalty kills here. Penalty kill, Preds are on the road. Minnesota's not very good. Minnesota and St. Louis, penalty kill at home. Ranked 29th. Minnesota's 31st in the league, 69.4%. St. Louis is 28th in the league, 73%. Nashville is 29th in the league on the road. So all three of those teams' penalty kill, not terribly exceptional. Similar, even though they played different number of games, similar numbers. They've all played like 46, around 46, 49, had 46, 49 opportunities, and have given up 15, 12, and 13 goals. So very similar numbers as far as number of goals against and opportunities. Now, granted, the Preds have played like 50% less or two-thirds of the number of games that Minnesota's played, and yet they have similar number of opportunities and goals against. Too many penalties. Just way too many penalties. And then Utah has the best penalty kill, 9th in the league, 82.6%. 8 goals against on 46 opportunities, which is the same number of opportunities as Nashville. They played close, 16 and 14 games, number of games. Preds have given up 13 goals. Utah has given up 8. Again, road versus home is slightly different. But, so the best penalty kill out of these 4 teams, clearly Utah, and all at the bottom of the other 3 teams. As far as the power play goes, Minnesota is 5th in the league on the power play at home, 26.9%. They have given up a shorthanded goal, though. 3rd in the league in goal scoring on the power play, 4th. And, 3rd in number of opportunities, 4th in goal scoring. So their power play is very dangerous. Everybody else is kind of the same in the bottom, 21st, 26th, 26th. Not that many goals scored. St. Louis has 9. Preds actually have the less opportunities, but they have less number of games. But similar, 47, 51, 53, 987 as far as goals scored. So, yeah, Minnesota's 21 goals, 78 opportunities, but they played 21 games. Power plays per game played, they are top in the league. At home, they're 3rd in the league as far as number of opportunities. The Preds are 3rd in the league as far as being on the power play on the road too. So that's kind of interesting. So lots of what was it on the penalty kill total? Minnesota Wild not shorthanded that much. 31st in the league as far as shorthanded. And the Blues 32nd. So not a lot of not a lot of penalties against St. Louis at home. Same for Minnesota. But a lot of power play opportunities for Minnesota, a lot of power play opportunities for Nashville. So tomorrow night's game, I guess we'll see. So, yeah, Minnesota's power play, exceptional. Everybody else is about, in the bottom of the league. And then as far as penalty kill, Utah's penalty kill, good. Everybody else is kind of in the bottom. So that's a quick summary of all of that. Players to watch. All right, players to watch. First up, we have Minnesota. Come on, work with me here. First up, we got Minnesota. And these are their home stats. And the first off, and not surprising, number 97, left wing Kirill Kaprizov, first on the team in goals, second in assists, first in points, third in ice time, first in shots. Next up, number 12, left wing Matt Boldy, second in goals with 12, second on the team in assists with 10, second on the team with points, 22, second on the team in shots. There you go. Most of your action, those 2 dudes. 97 and 12. Tops on the team in assist is number 14 center Joel Eriksson Ek, but that's it for him. Quinn Hughes' only stat so far with St. Louis is 27 minutes of ice time. He is first in the league in ice time, so he's I don't know why he bothers coming off the ice. I guess give somebody else another chance. So the only other person really potentially to watch besides 97 and 12 is number 90 left wing Marcus Johansson. He had been injured. He's not. He's back. He has a 26.7% shooting percentage, 30 shots, 8 goals. He's second on the team in assists with 10. So I think, second on the team in assists with 10, and he's got a high shooting percentage. Definitely number 90, Marcus Johansson, somebody to watch out for. Number 90, and then 97 and 12. St. Louis, the top guys are both injured, Carew and Holloway. And I don't think we really expect either of them back for the game. Carew first with goals, 6. So is Holloway, also has 6. Carew's second in points with 10. Somebody that'll be on the ice is center Robert Thomas, number 18, first in assists, first in points, 12 and 16, fifth in time on ice, 1932. Oscar Sundqvist is also second with assists with 7, number 70. Broberg has the highest ice time. Defenseman number 6, Philip Broberg. They have 3 players with shooting percentages over 20, but the goals numbers is 1, 1, and 2, and Matt Luff was up and he got sent back down. So I think in general, St. Louis doesn't look terribly dangerous, but I guess the thing is you don't know where it's going to come from. So I think the thing with St. Louis is they're fairly evenly spread, not maybe extremely dangerous, but you don't know. You gotta watch everybody. Sorry, can't. No naps to take during the St. Louis game. As far as Utah, tops on the team in goals is number 11 right wing Dylan Guenther with 8. He is first on the teams in shots with 46, third on the team in shooting percentage, 20.5%. So 8 goals on 46 shots. Number 11, the one person with most stats, number 8, center Nick Schmaltz, second on the team with 6 goals. Three guys on their team have six goals, which is second. Schmaltz is second on the team in assists with 9, second on the team in points with 15, and fifth in time on ice, 1939. Number 9 center Clayton Keller leads the team in assists with 12 and therefore leads the team in points with 18 because he's got second on the team with 6 goals. He's also tops on the team with 46 shots. See. Hard not to mention Mikhail Sergachev, but he's got ice time and assists. Two guys on the team have shooting percentages over 50%, but Yamamoto's got 3 goals on 6 shots, and Kerfoot has 1 goal on 2 shots. So let's go ahead and skip that. So, yeah, I think the other thing with Utah, again, is I guess Schmaltz, Guenther, 11 and 8. Keller, 9, if you want to throw another one in there. For the Nashville Predators, on the road, tops in goal scoring is number 71 right wing Matthew Wood. He's got 26 shots. He leads the team in shooting percentage at 26.9%. Next up, number 91 center Steven Stamkos, second on the team in goals with 5, second on the team in points with 9, second on the team in shots with 33. Luke Evangelista is now second on the team in assists because the all-purpose number 90 center Ryan O'Reilly is now first on the team in assists with 9, third on the team with 4 goals, first on the team in points with 13, fifth in the team in time on ice, 19-11. And then Yossi has the most ice time, 24:08. Forsberg has the most shots, second on the team in points. And making a new appearance here on the road stats is number 49 left wing Reed Schaefer. 50% shooting average, 1 goal, 2 shots. But hey, finally there. So that's your Nashville Predators stats and the people to watch. For momentum, Minnesota at home is 13-4-4, pretty good. They had a 7-game winning streak before losing Sunday to Colorado 1-5. They are 7-3-0 in their last 10. 1-1 so far on this homestand, 6-3-1 against the Central. So they're looking pretty good. St. Louis is 7-8-5 at home. The last 5 games they've been alternating wins and losses, and they're 5-4-1 in their last 10. 2-1-1 against in their last homestand, and 5-4-0 versus the Central. Utah, 9-6-1 at home, alternating losses and wins in their last 4, and 5-5 in their last 10. 1-1 on their last homestand, 6-4 in the Central. Nashville, 5-7-2 on the road. They have a 2-game winning streak. 2-game is the longest that they've had all season. They've had that a number of times now. 7-3-0 in their last 10. The last road trip, they were 1-1, and they're 4-6-2 against the Central. So the hottest teams here are Minnesota and Nashville, and they collide tomorrow night. That's going to be an exciting game. That'll be an exciting game. St. Louis. Nah, I'm not going to make any the wins and losses. The only wins-loss projection I feel like making is I don't. I'm just going to say it. I don't. And I said that I said about last night's game. So I'm not going to double jinx it by saying I think just at some point in time, the Predators will win more than 2 games in a row. I just don't think it's tonight. It's tomorrow night. I just don't think they're going to get their 3rd win in a row against the Wild. I think they could get a 3-game winning streak out of this road trip. They may not, but I think the toughest game, at least here in the first 3, is Minnesota. Surprisingly, next would then be Utah, and I hate to discount St. Louis, and we shouldn't, and can't look past them. And hopefully it won't be. Hopefully they won't have Christmas blues. But yeah, so gosh, I forgot to do that. I was going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I'll be back, I guess, for the New Year's Eve, but I'll wish you a Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays. Stay safe out there. Hopefully if you're traveling, travel well, travel safe. And be careful out there, people. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor, and you've been listening to Predators Proclivity.